Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about range of motion. Really specific video today. This is specifically for people who want to build muscle. So if you don't want to build muscle, then get up. But I'm sure most of you do, and especially on this channel where it is something we focus on predominantly. But just before that, go check out the link in the description. Lean Muscle Protocol, £15. Go check that out. My personal program is build lean muscle and strength as quickly as possible. I'm a natural. If you want to get lean, big, strong as possible, go check that out. Go check out AMP pre-workout. Use code LEO for 10% off. Link in the description. So let's get started. Why is range of motion important? Now, range of motion is exceptionally important because it allows you to build more muscle, right? That's a common belief that's commonly known. But people don't actually realise how to get the most out of range of motion, and that's what I'm going to talk about specifically today. So I'm going to give you an example of this. When people do bent over rows, or they do rows, most of the time they'll do the stretch, right? They'll come there, yeah? Or they'll come there. They'll get bicep activation involved, and they'll do the form slightly off, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but you can do it better. They don't emphasize the stretch at the bottom. And I was saying this to one of my PT clients. I was saying this to one of my PT clients the other day, and he said he really felt a difference in how sore he was after his workout. And I'm like, well, that's because now you're doing the full movement. You're getting the most out of the movement. And what I got him to do was, just so you guys can see, it was a little bit lower than this. But instead of just coming there, I got him to come right out there. And that is where you can get the most out of the movement. I've got him to pull for his elbow, which is what you should be doing specifically on rows. But that's a good example of a movement where you need to be getting the most out of the movement, not just kind of half repping it. And there is a place for range of motion not being as prevalent or important. And that is on movements that you are overloading exceptionally high. So say Romanian deadlifts, RDLs. I don't preach going too far past your knees because your back will start to hunch, as I've explained in other videos, and that is quite a big risk damage wise towards your lower back, especially if your lower back's not particularly strong. Same thing on squats. If you're going past 90 degrees, your back might start to round and you might start to have more issues than you need. So it's important on certain movements. I'm not saying you can't do like arse to grass squats, for example, or anything like that, but everything is relative to your strength and what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve sort of as much strength as possible and you are more likely to get injured at the bottom half of a movement, then avoid it for now and try and get better at a lighter part of the movement. Try and get better with a lighter load in that depth. Try and get round it because there is a place for these things, but also you need to be injury cautious. So you're less likely to get injured on a single arm row in comparison to a squat or a deadlift, for example, as they're much more advanced movements and you're using a lot more muscles and you're under a lot more load. So it is movement specific. The same thing with bench press. Bench press is probably the hardest movement out of all the pushing movements in terms of that respect. If you come down here, you're more likely to injure your tendon. I actually did that the other day. I didn't properly injure it. I didn't snap it or anything, but I just felt it twinge. So you do have to be careful with range of motion, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing that. You should be coming to the bottom of the range of motion with your bench press if you can, but it's all relative to who you are. It's very individualistic. But I just want to emphasize the effect it has on muscle building. You will gain more muscle if you are in a lengthened position. So that's another thing. So if you need to manage load as a result of what needing to get more range of motion, that's absolutely fine as well. If you believe that will lead to more gains, which it probably most likely will. If you're trying to get stronger and you don't need to go as low, that's also fine. I like to do a mix of both of my training, strength and hypertrophic training. So it's completely up to you guys what your specific goals are, whether you're a power lifter, whether you're just a bodybuilder, whether you're trying to get athletic. It's all these different things. They all are very nuanced. Nothing is kind of black and white when it comes to these topics. It's all very grey. And that's what I'm trying to guide you guys with. Another exercise I'd say would be, say, bicep curls. Now you can come to the bottom of the movement for bicep curls. That's absolutely fine. You're going to get the most out of the range of movement. The same way if you're doing preach curls, I don't really do preach curls because the risk, this is another thing, and the positioning. I see a lot of guys load up in the gym on preach curls, that kind of thing. And if you load up exceptionally, go to the bottom range of movement, you are likely to tear your bicep, especially on a movement like that. A lot of people have had really bad injuries that they struggle to recover from just from tearing. So you do have to have an exceptionally balanced load that's still pushing you, but not stupid amounts. And you can judge that based on your own relative sort of, not IQ, but intuition, there you go. Because you do need to be safe, but at the same time we want to build muscles. So please do that at your own risk. Find out the correct weight bearing exercise and weight bearing level for you, whether that be 50 kilos or 70 kilos or whatever the movement you're on, and judge that as best as you can. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I hope you've all liked the video, and I shall see you later.